One shot. You get one shot to make it. Hard work, dedication, a lot of patience, one opportunity, so go ahead and take it. Never back down, keep grinding, we gon' make it. We will never stop, we got our eyes on the prize. We never compromise the truth or live a lie, cause when them trials come, they just make us stronger. Yeah, we get burned, but the pain...
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the One Shot Audio Experience. It is Coach Drew, and today we have episode 2 of our player podcast series. We have Wesley Cardet of Northeast High School, 6'5", bona fide baller. He's a junior, and he's already ranked 30th nationally. He's ranked number 3 in Florida. And oh yeah, he's still got 2 years left to play. If you guys haven't watched our Players Edition episodes, and you didn't see the last episode with point guard Brent Davis, go ahead and go check that out right now. But with these episodes, it's simple. We're trying to dive into these players' personal stories, how they got involved with basketball, some of their strengths, some of their weaknesses as basketball players. We're touching on some individual goals, what they have set for themselves this coming year and years to come, team goals, and then we dive in, we try to get a little deep with these guys, have them tell us about, people that have inspired them and their journey and why they love this game so much. So I'm excited for you guys to hear what Wes has to say. Let's get it cracking. Let's get this show on the road. Here we go. Wes, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming by the One Shot facility.
Not much. Glad to be here.
All right, so you've been labeled on my last player podcast with Brent Davis. You're labeled the best player besides Brent Davis in Broward County. How you feel about that?
I feel special, man. I come from that dude. He's very hard working guy.
Yeah, Brent's different. And shout out to Brent for, him earning that offer to Citadel. Big shout out to him. But let's learn a little bit about you, Wes. Tell us where you grew up, a little bit about yourself, when you started playing ball, who inspired you. Tell us a little bit.
So I actually started playing ball in Tallahassee my first grade year. I was with my stepdad, Zach. He was like my coach now. He coached me throughout my time.
Nice. When was that, you would say? How old were you there?
Around 8.
Around 8. And how old are you right now?
18 right now.
18 right now. So about 10 years ago, probably about 2009, you said you picked up a basketball for the first time?
Yeah.
In Tallahassee. And what got you down to Florida? What got down to South Florida?
My whole family's been down here. We just decided to move back. Because I was here before I went to Tallahassee.
Yeah.
I came back down here.
Nice. So you, 8 years old, right? Started playing basketball. What kind of things were you doing? Did Coach Zach, put you in a rec league? How did you develop almost like a love for the game of basketball?
He actually take me out to an outside court every day and just work me out.
Yeah?
Yeah, and the more I worked out, I feel like I gained a passion for it every time I worked out.
Nice. So, fast forward, you're 8. When did you say you moved down here?
Back down here?
Yeah, when did you move back down here?
Around 10.
All right, so you were playing basketball for 2 years, came back down here. Where are you living now? Is that where you came to South Florida?
Yeah.
I mean, right after Tallahassee, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you're 10 years old. Where are you living at 10 years old?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah.
Nice. So, basically, what happened there? What got you into playing basketball more?
From then, I used to go watch the varsity team from Northeast. So I was always around Northeast since I was younger.
Nice. Was Coach Zach? Coach Zach.
Coaching.
He was coaching. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would always watch the practice.
Nice.
Then when game time came, it was like an energy feel when I see them play games and the gym be packed.
Yeah.
I used to always say I want to be there one day in the position.
Nice. Okay, so 10, 11, 12. when did basketball start becoming something for you when you realized like, hey, I could be pretty good at this. You know, I could do something with this. When it maybe click.
Around 6th grade year, it clicked for me. Like
6th grade, were you dunking or something like that? No.
Well, I started dunking in 8th grade.
You started dunking in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Nice. So 6th grade year, you're like, all right, you know, you heard maybe some things from friends, I guess, maybe saying that you were pretty good.
Actually, I went that year. I went to the Battle Rankings camp.
Okay.
Like I saw the best players. I was like, I feel like I can like be just as good or even better.
Right. You went to Battle of Rankings. How did that change your mindset from, you know, being that player who, you know, maybe you didn't think you were that great, but you went here, you kind of proved yourself at that level. You know, how did that carry you into almost like your high school career?
Because like once I seen I had like a chance actually doing it, I took full advantage of it. And I started working every day with Coach Zach. And I became better every day towards it.
Nice. So kind of dive into, you know, your relationship with Coach Zach. You know, tell us basically what your routine was and what your routine is currently now. What are you doing now? What were you doing back then? How has it changed? You know, are you going, you know, super hard now in comparison to, you know, way back when you were in middle school? Like, how? Take us through a day in the life, I guess.
Back then, I used to go to school, and after I came from school, as soon as I got to the gym, I'll work out or like slash practice with guys from varsity.
Right.
And like
that was in middle school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or like I'll practice with my middle school team. But
Right.
at night I'll go straight northeast and we'll practice from like 3 to 9.
Yep.
At night, and I have like my day routine every day.
So, is that different now than in high school?
Oh yeah, now.
What's it like now? I mean, even so, take us through, I guess, a school day, maybe like a school day workout, and then maybe a summer workout. Like, when are you starting during the summer, since we don't have school on those days?
So in the summertime, I used to wake up in the morning, I would run, and then later that morning, I would go to the gym.
What time are you waking up?
Waking up at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
6 o'clock on a summer day.
Yeah,
All right.
Run a mile, then I'll go some rest around 11, head to the gym. Probably be at the gym from 11 to 5.
That's
7.
Northeast gym, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Northeast gym.
Okay, and then I'll go home, and then I'll usually go to the weight room at night.
Are you working out with anybody, or is it your friends, or is Coach Zach there with you, or is it mostly, you know, you have a key, you're by yourself?
Coach Zach's with me most of the time. Sometimes we'll bring somebody if they want to like join in.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's just us.
Do you like working out by yourself, or do you prefer working out with others?
I prefer working out with others because I feel like it makes you go harder. If
Yeah.
that person works hard, it makes you want to go harder too.
Right. So you get in the weight room. That's probably for about an hour, and you know what time does your day finish?
Finishes around 11.
Around 11 o'clock at night. Are you playing any pickup during that time? You know, or is that kind of mixed in with the time that you're at Northeast?
Yeah, it's kind of mixing the time in Northeast.
Yeah.
They pick up.
Nice. So then, what's a day like during school, I guess?
School. Go to school from 7 to 2:45.
You doing anything before school?
Not right now.
Not right now.
Once
That's all right.
season started, we'll start doing stuff before school.
Yeah.
Study hall for like an hour after school. Then we just go to the gym.
Right.
We'll shoot for like the first 2 hours or so to like 6, and we'll practice and put up more shots afterwards. Or if you want to go to the weight room after you practice.
Nice. So, I mean, this isn't the first person that's kind of said with Brent, even in our last player episode, he was telling us of his routine of when he was waking up and just the hours that these guys spent spend on the basketball court in general. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of, obviously, reps, and it takes a love. These guys genuinely love playing basketball. They love what they do, and you can see that in their routine. And it's special. It's special. I mean, how I kind of developed a relationship here with Wes. Over the summer, I was a part of Team Breakdown's travel basketball team. If you don't know who Team Breakdown is, it's one of the longest standing travel basketball organizations in South Florida, and they've been going strong for about 20 years now. They've had names like Kenny Boyden, Brandon Knight, who else? Anthony Simons, yeah, a lot. It's a top-notch Under Armour sponsored travel basketball team, and Wes and I was brought on by the coaches of Team Breakdown, which is Coach Zach and all those Gillion brothers. I don't even know how many there are now, but there's a bunch of them. Those are definitely great guys as well, and they brought me on this season, and they brought me on specifically to help the guys with stretching before games, warming the guys up, recovery, all that kind of stuff that you don't really see these guys do before the game hits. So Wes and I developed a little relationship there, and from my standpoint, I got to see just the type of person and the type of passion and love that this man has for the game of basketball, how seriously he takes it, how seriously he takes his body, and he treats his body, and he treats every game like a head college basketball coach is watching. And I think that's really kind of started to manifest itself. He's picking up offers left and right here. He's one of the best players in Broward County. He's one of the best players in Florida, nationally ranked. And it is due to, obviously, that work ethic. And it's special when you can see that firsthand. Like I saw it firsthand. It's special when you're around it. I love myself just being around people that love to be the best. And I try to associate myself with that group and with those people. And I think Wes is a great person, and a great person that exemplifies that characteristic. Is he's trying to be the best at what he does. And it's special because he's a junior right now, and he's still got another year left to play, and his work ethic is probably one of the best that I've seen personally at the high school level. So props to him. I know he's going to continue keeping that going, and it's fun to watch him develop. It'll be fun to see kind of where he ends up these next 2 years. I want to kind of go back to where we left off there, Wes. We stopped kind of at the battle of the rankings. You were in middle school. Now let's fast forward now to you're in high school. You had a pretty good freshman year.
Yeah.
What were your takeaways maybe freshman year? How did you do stats wise? I think you guys had a pretty was that the year you guys went to like regionals, and that was your freshman year? Yeah, I remember seeing stuff with a little documentary about you guys. Was that Swag Check? Yeah, I saw a documentary that my guy Roosevelt put together of FNO Productions. Shout out Roosevelt. And talk about that season. Talk about how that kind of led you into maybe the player again that you are right now, because you saw the success that team had, and kind of like that failure, I guess, at the end, where maybe you guys believed, hey, we should have beat this team, and if we beat this team, we're definitely winning states. How what was that kind of like?
It was tough because it was a senior-led team.
Yeah.
Every practice was hard, especially for me, because I was like the only freshman on the team, and like it was a very sad day when we lost, because like we've been battling like through the whole season.
Right.
And to lose at that point, we like expected to go to state, so I was working every day for it, and to lose, it was like a drought.
Right. So, I guess my next question would be off of that is, how did that season lead you to you seeing that success? How did that carry over to the next year? And tell us about maybe your sophomore year. What do you need to do better this year, and moving forward?
Sophomore year, it was a
struggle.
Struggle year.
Yeah. And that's because probably you lost a lot of those seniors. You're saying, right?
We're young then.
Very, very, very young squad.
Yeah.
So how did you learn from that? What were your takeaways from your sophomore season? Because I'm sure a lot of teams were maybe keying in on you.
Yeah.
All right, let's double team, let's triple team. Wes, let's take him out of the game. Did you learn something about yourself then in that situation? What did you learn?
Well, it taught me how to more control the team.
Right. Leadership?
Yeah.
Okay.
The freshman year I was just in the system, but now I have to kind of take over.
Right.
And
So it's different a little bit?
Yeah.
It was different. You weren't used to, being a sophomore and having to lead a team is hard, man. It's really hard. Being a senior and having to lead a team is hard. So, I definitely understand where you're coming from.
So, moving on to this year, I feel like it's really going to be a good year.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my freshman year and sophomore year taught me a lot of things that I could bring to this year's team. I think we're really good this year.
Yeah.
I think we're going to shock a lot of people.
Okay, nice. So, just tell these people, they don't know who you are basketball wise. Tell us about, your strengths. What makes you the player that you are right now?
My strengths, my energy when I get on the court, how well I can score the ball, I get up, play defense, have a lot more emotions on the court. Because when I get on the court, it's it makes me feel free. So
right,
it's
poetry,
more emotions. Yeah.
Right. No, he is a very energetic kid. I would say off the court, it's he's very quiet. He's kind of to himself, But when he gets on the court, when he gets in that zone, with all those team breakdown and Northeast guys, these guys, become a different animal and. They're out for blood, and you can definitely say that about Wes and about his game. So we talk about strengths. What about some weaknesses? If I'm a college basketball head coach, what are some things that I'm saying to Wes that you have to improve on specifically?
My dieting. I feel like I can eat a little bit healthier.
Okay.
Keep my body fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
From a basketball standpoint, what do you think you need to do better?
Basketball standpoint?
Yeah. Shooting the ball, off the dribble, or shooting the ball stationary, whatever. As a point guard, making point guard decisions, leading the team, anything of that nature.
I feel like I could be a little bit more vocal as a point guard, instructing everybody as the game goes on, the whole game, never
right.
stop it. Continue to be vocal and guide my team.
Right, and being vocal doesn't just mean being vocal in in a game. Building a relationship with your teammates off the court, right? It's very important as well. It's being vocal when you're in the weight room, bringing that energy when you're in the weight room, holding guys accountable in the classroom, being vocal in practice, knowing as a point guard, you got to know all the plays. You got to know where everybody's supposed to be on the floor. You're the floor general. So, everybody is kind of looking to you, especially because, as a sophomore last year, they're all looking to you. You probably got juniors and seniors looking to you, and that's it's scary. Sometimes it is scary, but like you were kind of saying, I think you've kind of grown. Now you understand what's expected of you, and now you're ready to take that next step and really lead the team this year and have a breakout year for this Northeast team, which I believe you guys definitely can do. I think it's going to be fun to watch. I know Brent was saying you guys are playing Miramar here during the season, so I definitely want to go out and catch one of those games. That would be fun with Coach T. Let's talk about a little Broward County basketball here. Let's talk about it. All right, who do you think, besides yourself, I asked Brent this same question, besides yourself, who's the best player in Broward or South Florida? So it can be Broward, Miami, West Palm Beach, any of those three.
To me, I feel like the Twin Towers.
The Twin Towers? The two twins? Tell them who are the twins.
Matthew and Ryan Bewley. They're very talented.
Yeah.
6'8", very versatile.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're going to be very special in the future.
Did you say they're freshmen?
Yeah, they're freshmen.
They're freshmen. These guys are 6'8". They're labeled the Twin Towers. Matt and Ryan Bewley. And again, they were part of Team Breakdown's travel basketball organization last year. So I developed a little relationship with them too. Great guys, fun guys, and the offers are definitely already pouring in for them. I mean, I think they got some like Iowa State, Florida. I mean, when you're 6'8" like that, it's in a freshman, it's special, And then you pair that with Wes and a couple of the other guys that they got on the team. I mean, Northeast is gonna be a team to beat for sure this year. Let's see, who is a Broward County team to beat? Another one besides Northeast. Who do you think can, compete with you guys and maybe knock you guys off if you guys have a bad night?
I'm going to say Doral because they ended my road to states as a freshman.
Doral. What makes Doral so special?
They're very poised.
Very poised.
Very patient. And I feel like...
Who's there? They have a notable player on that team?
Yeah, this year I think they have a kid named Devin Carter.
Devin Carter?
Yeah.
Nice. So they're poised. They kind of, I would say, maybe are the opposite of you guys in like an offensive standpoint. Like maybe you guys are more run and gun, whereas they're more set the offense, Princeton style. Everything is very controlled. Let's play a half court game. Whereas Northeast is kind of let's get out on the break, let's run, let's get a quick shot type thing. Would you say that's kind of right? Interesting. So you got Doral. Nobody in Broward giving Northeast a legitimate fight.
I don't see it.
You guys are only beating yourselves. How about any private school teams in there? U School, Westminster. Have you seen any of them play?
Yeah.
You saw them play?
Yeah, I saw Westminster. We actually played Westminster.
Oh, you played Westminster?
Yeah.
How are they looking?
Yeah,
And they've won states the past 3 years in a row, so they're obviously no slouch.
Yeah.
How are they looking?
They're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So you're starting at the point guard, or you're starting kind of? I mean, you guys play like a 2 or 3 guard set.
Yeah,
Is that,
it's like we have like 3 guards who all rotate at the point guard.
Yeah.
All fill in position.
Sweet, man. So what are some goals that you set for yourself this year as a basketball player in Broward County or in the state of Florida in general? What you looking to accomplish this year?
I'm looking to get better this year.
How so? Be as detailed as possible here.
I'm looking to get better by at my position at the point guard.
Okay. How many
winning with the team.
are you? Last year, right? You were the first team all county, right, for the Sun Sentinel and for the Miami Herald. Are you trying to get that award? Obviously, you're probably trying to get that award again. Is there another maybe accolade or points per game? What were you averaging last year in comparison to, what you want to average this year? Something like that.
Last year I averaged 20 and 5 assists.
Nice.
This year I want to have average 15 and 10 assists and lead my teams to victory more.
Okay.
I want to win more this year.
Win more this year?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you said you want to get your team, you want to win districts, right?
Yeah, and states.
Win districts and win states. That's a tough road.
Yeah.
Tough road. But again, they've got the talent to get there. Now it's just, everybody coming together, and you'll hit some rough patches during the season. You guys got to stick together through those rough patches, but I definitely believe when end of January comes around and February starts rolling through, that you guys will be right there contending for that state championship. So let's see. Team goals, we said that.
And states.
And then you said states, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I want to touch on travel basketball a little bit. Team breakdown, travel ball versus high school basketball. What are, some differences that you may see between both of them, from a player standpoint? What do you see?
With travel basketball, you have a lot more colleges watching you. Even on the sidelines they're watching. Between high school basketball, it's not as much.
Right.
But it's more.
Right. So I guess I'll interrupt. Travel basketball and these guys again, they play on the Under Armour circuit, and on these circuits, you have the live periods where they attract a large number. I mean, last year, I remember going to these tournaments, and you would see coaches like Tom Izzo and Patrick Ewing and John Calipari, all these big time Division I coaches sitting courtside watching your game.
Yeah.
So that, I guess, in comparison to high school ball, right? When you're in high school, the season for high school, that's the same time when college basketball is taking place.
Yeah.
So you don't really get to see the head coaches as much or at all in comparison, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of seeing maybe the assistant coaches coming to watch your game, or scouts, or whatever. So I think that's kind of, what you're getting at.
Yeah.
The difference between, travel basketball and high school basketball. What do you think? From my experience, and you can tell me if this is true, travel basketball, every player on that team can play for the most part. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Every player is pretty much one of the best players on their high school team. So if you were to put Northeast and Miramar and Fort Lauderdale and Western and Cypress Bay, and you put the best players on each one of those teams, and you put them together and you combine them on, I guess, team breakdown, it's like they're putting that South Florida best squad versus, the best squad. Yeah. So, in high school basketball, maybe you have, one or two kids that are really just stand out above the rest. Like almost last year, where it was Wes was keyed in on a lot and he was taken away. So travel basketball versus high school basketball, a little different. Which is more fun, you think?
Yeah.
Which one's more fun? What do you have more fun? I mean, I think they're both fun. Obviously, you love playing in front of your friends in high school basketball, but I don't know, the energy might be different.
Yes, For like high school basketball, the energy is very different because you have the school fan base and like all administration in your school watching games, cheering you on.
Yeah.
And for the AU, it's like it's still energized because like a lot of people watching from like all over the world.
Right.
Like college coaches are watching.
Yeah. No, it's definitely different energies, but they're both fun. I mean, obviously, who doesn't want to play in front of their friends, show out, you know, in front of the girls of your high school, all that good stuff. But at the same time, I don't think anything gets the adrenaline flowing like playing in front of Tom Izzo or any of those college coaches. And, you know, you really get to see who's cut out for, you know, playing at that level. When a high level Division I college basketball player shows up to your game, it's either you got it or you're gonna choke.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of kids kind of fold, and it happens, man. It happens. But both scenarios are fun. I mean, for me, when I was growing up, I guess, or not when I was growing up, but I would say 10 years ago when I was in high school, we didn't have, I mean, the amount of travel basketball teams that are available to everybody right now is insane. I mean, you might have had 2 travel basketball teams at the most back 10 years ago.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, it's right now it's, you know, you can't, travel basketball teams like every 10 feet you can get on a travel basketball team and find somewhere to go. And, you know, so it wasn't as open as it is right now to get out and play and get some exposure and get yourself some highlight tapes on all these social media platforms and all that kind of stuff. You know, none of that was accessible when I was playing. So you guys definitely have a little bit of an advantage there. But we're going to start finishing this interview off. I'm going to get a little deeper. You know, I just want to, I think, find out a little bit more about you as a person here and really figure out, you know, just a little bit more about yourself. So tell us, who's your favorite coach?
My favorite coach?
Who's your favorite coach and how have they impacted your life?
My favorite coach is Coach Zach.
Coach Zach?
Because he's the one that introduced me to basketball.
Yep.
And he's like guided me through my journey through basketball.
Yep. What's something maybe Coach Zach has taught you? You know, maybe like a not related to basketball, maybe a basketball principle that you've learned, one main principle that he's taught you that you can carry over to your life in general.
One principle he taught me is whatever you choose to do, work hard at it.
Yep.
So if you choose to do something, no matter if it's being a garbage man, work to be the best at it,
Yep.
and be the best at it.
Leave your legacy, man. That's what you gotta do. Is you're trying to leave a legacy, and I think like we were saying earlier, is you're always trying to be the best. You know, I know that's what I'm trying to do with my company and with whoever I surround myself with. Is you always got to find a way to continue to improve yourself. You know, whether that's through finding a group of people that are better than you that you can learn from, whether that's, you know, reading books or learning from different coaches. Whatever the case is, you're always trying to improve. Everybody's got some type of knowledge that maybe you don't have and that you can learn from. And you know, you never want to get to a point where you're kind of like at a place where everything's kind of stopped.
Yeah.
You want to continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to get better, and you know, people will see that, and people want to be around that kind of energy, man. They do. If you're growing, if you're learning, if you're continuing to improve yourself, people recognize that, and they'll gravitate to that. And at the same time, people recognize that, and maybe they'll move away from you, you know, because, you know, they're just not at that same wavelength that you're at anymore, you know. So again, we're always trying to strive to be the best, strive for greatness, you know. And I love it, man. Last question: most important question. Why do you love basketball? Why do you love, specifically, tell us, why do you love the game of basketball?
Because I've tried a lot of things, and basketball is the one thing that I enjoy the most out of everything.
Yeah.
It's like, just brings something out of me that nothing else brings out of me.
Nice, like a joy, a joyful feeling, right? That, again, when you're on that basketball court, it's just, it feels right. You know what I'm saying? It feels right. You have all these different emotions when you're playing, when you're not playing, when you finish a game, if you lose, if you win. Nothing like winning a game of basketball, like a tough game. And then there's nothing like losing a game where you got to figure stuff out and try to improve that way. It's always a learning experience. You know, but I think that's what makes the game of basketball and sports in general so fun is you can always improve, you can always get better, and, you know, the love for the game, it never goes away. I mean, I love basketball, you know, just as much as anybody else. You know, that's why I do kind of what I do. And, you know, I would say to you, you know, when basketball is over, you got to apply that same love and same energy to your career and you know, and that same drive, that wanting to be the best, whatever you do, whatever's after basketball, keep that same intensity with you, and you're going to be a special young man. So, Wes, man, I appreciate you coming on today, sharing your story a little bit, telling us about some of your strengths, some of your weaknesses, and you know, we look forward to seeing you this year and seeing what comes out of your future these next couple of years, man. I'm excited, and I look forward to watching you play, man. Thank you.
No problem. Glad to be here.